This is Making Waves, a series of podcasts celebrating and commemorating 25 years of Wave Community Bank.
Hello and welcome back to the next episode. I think it's the third in our sequence of podcasts called Making Waves, celebrating and commemorating 25 years of Wave Community Bank. Emma's with me again.
Hello.
We're going to talk more about the loans this time around. We talked a little bit about it in the last podcast when we were talking about the savings options available.
Yeah.
And we mentioned a bit about the fact that with all our loans, you save as well. Can you go into a bit more detail about how that model maybe differs from other sort of traditional loan products?
Sure. So anyone that borrows from us saves as part of their repayment of their loan. So the repayments are made up of a loan repayment, a savings element, and then that way they're building their savings pot as they repay their loan, because our aim is to turn borrowers into savers. And by doing that, as people build their savings, when they've got parity between the savings and the loan, they can use it to pay off the balance of the loan, so they can clear their loan quicker if they want to, or they can just keep going. And quite a lot of our members do that and have a savings pot for the first time, which is brilliant, because then they're building up their resilience. They've got a bit of money behind them should they need it in the future. And they've had their loan, paid that off successfully, and whatever need that met, that was dealt with too. So the savings is kind of an added bonus at the end of the loan.
Yeah, and it's quite a kind of responsible approach to because it's helping protect sort of vulnerable people from falling into those debt traps, isn't it?
Yeah, the idea with these loans is to sort of and the work that we do is to sort of help educate people. It's not just about borrowing and repaying it. And some people that come to us have in the past used payday type lenders, where they've definitely got into debt traps and just borrowed and re-borrowed and never actually improved their position. So for us, as part of being a member, yes, you can have a loan and you start building your savings as you repay it, but we also do lots of education on money management, budgeting, all that kind of stuff to help people not get into a debt trap, to manage a loan properly and improve their financial position.
When I was putting together some of the questions to talk to you about for this, I put something about specialised loans for specific purposes. Do you want to kind of talk about that? Because you were a bit like, we don't want to kind of go down that way. Can we talk about the kind of loans that we actually do?
Yeah, so we have a family saver loan, which is a product that works really, really well for our members. They repay that using their child benefit payments. So this means perhaps people that struggle to get credit elsewhere or would be too high risk even for us to consider lending to, because we're getting the repayments direct from the government, we're happier to lend to people. So by changing their child benefit to come to us, that's how they repay their loan. They start building their savings and they can access affordable credit that way, which perhaps wouldn't have been an option to them. We do have some other loan products, like we've got homeowner loans that are at cheaper rates for people that own their own properties. We've got a rate match loan, which is for people who, if they've been offered a loan by another lender, but they'd rather borrow from us because of who we are and they like being a member of ours, then they can bring us the details of the loan that they've had approved from the other lender. And if we can, we'll match that. And they could borrow from us instead. So we're trying to offer loan products that meet the needs of our members and attract new people to us that can then, become part of the Wave family.
We have a debt consolidation sort of loan as well.
We do, that's right. Yeah. And we do have a lot of people that come to us with debt consolidation loan applications. If we can't lend to them, we will signpost them to debt advice and for further help, because some people that come to us are just so indebted. They are maxed out on their credit, and we wouldn't be able to get them in a better position. But we do also lend a lot of debt consolidation loans, and we do quite a few of those to our payroll members as well, who pay through their wages. So it's certainly something that people can look at with us.
How does Wave work with companies to kind of give loans to workers, and how does this help the workers and the companies, so to speak?
So yeah, we have Chorus, which is our workplace savings scheme. So people can save and repay loans with us straight from their wages. That gives people the opportunity to know that they're never going to miss a payment, because it's it's a mandate that's done through their employer, and the employer just works as a conduit to get the money from A to B by giving it to us. But it gives people reassurance they're not going to miss any payments, so it's not going to damage their credit report that way. Also, because in a similar way to the Family Saver loan, because we get repayments at source, we can reward our payroll members that are paying through payroll with lower interest rates on their loans, because we know we're going to get paid every day through their employer. So in that way, they benefit from paying lower interest rates on the loans that they're issued. They're building their savings like everybody else when they borrow from us. And the employers get the benefit of better staff retention, reduced stress on financial well-being aspect for their staff. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody, really.
And it's such a big part of what we do. We're actually going to dedicate the next episode of the podcast series to do
That's
that,
right. Yeah.
So I think it's worth going into quite a bit more detail about that.
It is. It's a part of the business we've really grown in the last few years. So yes, it is really important.
Cool. I'm going to ask you this question. When I put this one to you before, you were like, "Oh, that's tricky." How does Wave balance the need to be ethical, as it is, with the financial sustainability of being a credit union and being a bank?
Yeah.
Are there any changes in maintaining that balance?
There's a lot of challenges in that. We are regulatory bound to check affordability when someone applies for a loan with us. So we have to be really careful that if we do offer a loan to somebody, that they can afford it. And obviously we wouldn't want to lend to somebody who couldn't afford it, because that doesn't improve their position. But we need to lend to bring in the interest income, which ultimately will be a dividend for our savers. So that is the cooperative model that we have. So you have to take some risk with your loans, and there are times when people come to us and we might think, well, maybe they've got no credit record. So you look at that and you think, okay, there is nothing we can go on here, but maybe we could lend to them and they're repaying through child benefit. So it reduces the risk for us. This gives this person the opportunity to build a credit report and potentially borrow elsewhere for in the future. So yeah, it is a difficult one, because we've got to have income. That's what keeps the lights on. We've got to get money out the door on loan. The idea is to help people and to lend to people. So that's what we want to do. Equally, we've got to protect our members' money. We don't want bad debts. We don't want people not repaying their loans. And we want to ultimately be paying a dividend. So there's a hell of a balancing act. And in the meantime, you've got the regulator behind you saying, what are you doing?
So
How are you doing it?
It is a big juggling act.
It is, yeah, incredibly so, yeah.
If you want to find out more details, head over to www.wavecb.org.uk for more details of everything that we do, savings, loans, etc. Emma, thanks very much. We'll speak again soon for another edition.
Thanks, Phil.
Making Waves is produced by and on behalf of Wave Community Bank. For more details, visit our website on www.wavecb.org.uk.